Welcome back to another explainer. All right, let's just jump right into this. We spend so much time obsessing over the paint colors, the hardwood floors, the furniture in our homes, right? But today, we're going to flip the script and explore the fascinating, hidden infrastructure that actually keeps our homes running. We are talking about the invisible underworld of plumbing. And to truly understand the sheer forces of nature that are constantly battling against the pipes hidden behind your walls, we're going to look at a highly specific local case study, Johnston, Rhode Island. Relying on some really great data and insights from the local experts over at Cornerstone Plumbing Providence, we're going to unpack what essentially amounts to the perfect plumbing storm.
So, it all starts with a rather dramatic question. What actually happens when a 100-year-old pipe beats 0-degree weather? I mean, it kind of sounds like the setup to a bad disaster movie, right? But for a lot of homeowners, it is a very real, very expensive winter reality. Because when you combine aging housing history with harsh environmental forces, a clash is absolutely inevitable. It's this relentless, invisible battle between the materials we built with a century ago and the unforgiving elements of today.
Section 1. The Johnston Plumbing Microcosm.
Now, Johnston actually serves as the ultimate testing ground for universal plumbing challenges because its diverse geography and housing ages create this perfect map of invisible threats. Take the Graniteville and Simmonsville neighborhoods, for example. Homes there date back to the early 1900s, and they face these harsh winters that relentlessly attack the original galvanized pipes, leading to severe freeze damage. But then you head over to Thornton, and the threat is actually biological. You've got mature trees hunting for water, and their roots are just crushing older clay sewer lines. And over near Atwood Ave or the Pocasset River, shifting clay soils are causing the ground to settle, literally snapping rigid pipes right in half.
A massive driver of all this destruction is something called the freeze-thaw cycle. When temperatures in areas like Johnston plummet below 20 degrees, the water sitting in exposed plumbing, so think exterior walls, unheated basements, crawl spaces, it freezes solid. And as we all know, when water freezes, it expands. This expansion literally splits the pipe wide open. But, and here is the terrifying part, the real damage doesn't actually happen when the pipe freezes. No, it happens when the weather warms back up, the ice thaws, and all that water floods freely through those new cracks straight into your living space.
Section 2. Anatomy of a breakdown. If you're in a home built before 1970, there's a creeping hidden danger you need to know about. Many of these older properties are still running on original galvanized steel piping, and the sneaky thing about galvanized steel is that it corrodes from the inside out. You might look up at a pipe in your basement and think, hey, that looks perfectly fine on the outside. But inside, mineral deposits and rust are silently choking the water flow. It reduces your water pressure, discolors your water, and eventually causes these tiny pinhole leaks that require tearing open entire walls to fix.
There's just this massive gap between the past and the present. You've got failing legacy systems from the 1900s relying on that galvanized steel, easily crushed clay drain pipes, and a complete lack of proper venting. Contrast that with the modern solutions mandated by today's plumbing code. Today, we're talking flexible, freeze-resistant PEX or durable copper for supply lines, and root-resistant PVC or ABS plastics for the drains. The code gaps between these two eras create massive ongoing maintenance headaches for pretty much anyone living in an older home.
And this chronological decay, it also attacks an appliance you rely on every single day, your water heater. Rhode Island is notoriously known for its hard water, and the timeline of its relentless assault goes a little something like this. Year 1, everything's brand new, working great. By year 5, those hard water minerals have deposited a thick layer of sediment right at the bottom of the tank, killing your efficiency while the protective anode rod gets heavily corroded. By year 8 to 12, well, the sediment and corrosion reach a critical mass. The tank cracks, it fails completely, and you're looking at a rapidly flooded basement. It's an inevitable decay.
But hey, the destruction isn't just happening inside the house. There's an underground battle waging in your yard. Mature trees are incredibly thirsty. During dry spells, their roots actively hunt for moisture. And when they find tiny cracks in aging clay sewer lines, they don't hold back. They force their way in. Once they're inside, they act exactly like a net, catching waste and toilet paper. It usually starts out as just a slow drain on the ground floor, but it gradually worsens until you hit a complete, catastrophic blockage, sending sewage backing up directly into your basement. Nobody wants that.
All right, Section 3, the professional fix. Let's talk rescue operations.
Upgrading these legacy systems isn't just a matter of running down to the hardware store and swapping out a pipe. It requires mastering some incredibly strict municipal standards. In Rhode Island, the state adopts the International Plumbing Code, but with specific local amendments.
This means professionals must use approved materials like copper, CPVC, or PEX for any drinking water. Any connection where contaminated water could reverse flow, say an irrigation system or a commercial kitchen, absolutely requires mandatory backflow prevention devices. And every single trap fixture needs precise venting rules followed, just to prevent toxic sewer gases from entering the home. So how does a professional operation actually handle a full-blown emergency? Looking at the material from Cornerstone Plumbing, it comes down to a highly structured three-step rescue process. Step 1, immediate dispatch and diagnosis. A licensed professional gets there, tests the components, and identifies the actual root cause. Step 2, transparent pricing and repair. No surprise emergency fees, just a firm quote before a single wrench is turned. And Step 3, testing and a guarantee. The repair is fully tested and backed by a 1-year guarantee on parts and labor. It's really designed to just eliminate the panic of a late-night disaster.
And speaking of late-night disasters, when a pipe bursts and water is actively destroying a finished basement, time is literally your worst enemy. That brings us to a really crucial number, 60. Professional emergency services mandate a maximum 60-minute dispatch window for those urgent calls. Trucks have to roll 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, loaded up with extensive parts inventories. We're talking everything from standard PVC all the way to brass valves for vintage fixtures, all just to stop catastrophic property damage that very same day.
Section 4. Defending your home.
Let's rapid-fire some of the most effective defense mechanisms you can deploy right now against the brutal freeze-thaw cycle. First off, insulate those exposed pipes in your basements and crawl spaces. When the temperature really drops, open your kitchen and bathroom cabinet doors. It lets the home's warm air circulate around the hidden pipes. Let your faucets drip just a little bit, because moving water is way harder to freeze. If you leave town, never ever let your thermostat drop below 55 degrees. Seal up any exterior wall cracks where freezing drafts can sneak in, and absolutely make sure you disconnect and drain your outdoor hoses before winter even starts.
But beyond winter prep, there's a golden rule of home maintenance. Annual inspections catch small problems long before they become expensive emergencies. Whether that's having a pro flush the hard water sediment out of your water heater every single year, or testing your shutoff valves to make sure they actually work when you panic and need them, or checking the sump pump before those heavy spring rains hit, preventative maintenance is, for sure, your ultimate shield against the elements.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. As we've seen from looking at the historic neighborhoods of Johnston, your home's plumbing is a hidden battleground of time, soil, and temperature. Whether it's roots hunting for water, hard water eating away at a tank, or 0-degree drafts creeping toward a 100-year-old pipe, the forces of nature quite literally never stop testing your infrastructure. So I'll leave you with this to ponder. What exactly is hiding behind your walls right now? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.